Yo, this is Azza from Azzadous Studios. It's been a little while since I uploaded, but I'm back to bring you more music production tutorial goodness. I just want to thank you all for supporting my channel and keeping the requests and comments coming in. So I've been working on a lot of really summery house lately. One of the main aspects I feel like a summer house banger has to have is those gorgeous pianos. In this video I'm going to show you how I go about turning the boring piano chord progression into a spine-tingling summer slammer. Also, remember to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with my music production tutorials. Drop me a like and most importantly put any requests you have in the comments below so I can create content that you want to see. First of all, I'm going to talk about manipulating the MIDI clip and changing up the chords to get the rhythm of the piano sounding really nice. If you'd like to skip straight to the processing, I've added chapters to the video so you can go ahead and click on piano processing to get straight to that. Okay, so I've got a MIDI clip here with some really nice piano chords. I'm not going to go into actually writing chords today because that's the whole of the video. So the first thing to note is that I may want to use these chords again later, so I'm just going to duplicate this while I'm here. I'm just holding down Control and dragging that away to duplicate it. And then I'm going to open up this MIDI clip. I usually start by shortening all the chords to get a nice stab sound. What I'm going to do first, because this is twice the length of these ones, just to make it easy, I'm going to half that, duplicate that, and then select all. And now with them all selected, I can manipulate them all without some of them being different sizes. So I want to be working in 16ths for this. We may change this later, but for now 16ths. I'm just going to press Control and 2 to change the grid. And now we're in 16ths there. With these chords now we've got a nice little stab. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to drag it out, have 2 16ths in between. Rather than putting it on the next beat, I'm going to put it on the 16th before the next beat. And then I'm going to repeat this 2 16th space. And it's a really simple way of doing it, but it does give you a nice starting point. Okay, so what I can do on these little bits here, at the end of the bar, because if I duplicate this again and repeat the same 2 space, it will work, but it's not the sort of vibe that I want really. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the 1 16th space there. And I could leave that there, I'll leave that space to let it breathe, or I'd do the same again there. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with these. I'm just going to select both of these and drag them over. Okay, so really simple. Let's improve it a little bit. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to shift these over a 16th. So the bass note is playing just before the top end of the chord. Let's have a look. What can we do with this end a little bit? Let's just try repeating this. Okay, so I want that on the half there. Yeah, that sounds nice. So I'll shift these over. And I'll do the same again for this one. I don't want to go too in depth with this because it's more personal preference. You experiment with it and come up with a nice rhythm that you like. Okay, I like that. So I'm just going to drop these notes down. I'll try dropping them all down first. Okay, that B's a bit low. Bring that back up. Alright, I'm going to duplicate these. There we go. So we've got the both. Okay, that's nice. Let's try dragging them out a little bit. There we go, I like that. Okay, so before we can get into processing the piano, we need to decide which piano we're going to use. I'm currently using Addictive Keys, and I usually always start with Addictive Keys. It loads up quick and it doesn't use a lot of processing power, so it's nice to just get some ideas down with it. I'm probably going to swap to the M1, or maybe something nice from Contact. We'll go with the M1 for now. What I'm going to do is duplicate this and leave that there, because we're going to use that as another layer anyway. So I'm going to have a look for some nice keys in the M1. Okay, so that's quite loud. I do really like this Velo piano. Okay, so with that, what I'm going to do is play it alongside the other piano first. Okay, so I like those together. What I'm going to do is group them, and we can get on to processing the pianos. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is some light EQ on both. I'm going to add a Pro Q2. And I'm just going to roll off the unnecessary highs, we really don't need them. So it's going to be sort of a mid-range bulk. The M1 has some really nice lows on it, and to be quite honest, once we finish processing, we might not have much of the lows left anyway from the piano, because we're going to layer a bass with that. So I'm going to have a look at where the M1 is punching, sort of. So I'm thinking about 1200, and I'm going to switch this back off. I'm just using it as a reference to notch out a little bit of this piano. Just a couple dB. Okay, so back on the M1, what I'm going to do is, again, roll the lows and the highs off. Okay, so I'm going to go to the piano group now, and on this I'm going to add some compression. I'm just going to go for a glue compressor. I'm just going to roll down the threshold a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go for release on auto and maybe 3 attack. Try 0.3. We're just gluing them together a little bit. We only want between 0 and 3 dB of compression, maybe even less than that. Yeah. Okay, so next up I'm going to go in with a H delay. I'm going to put this into an effect rack. So what I'm going to do with this is group, and then I'm going to go to the chains and I'm going to create 2 more chains. So the one with the delay on, I'm going to rename delay. The next one I'm going to have as, we'll just call that dry for now. And the bottom one is going to be a reverb. So on the delay channel, we've got as delay here. I'm going to keep that all the way on the wet because this volume is going to control the wetness, how much delay we have. And I'm just going to go for a preset for now. I don't want to get too tied down. You can customize your own delays however you want it to sound. I'm just going to go for basic stereo on this, which is a really nice delay, and it gives us a really nice stereo width. So I'm just turning the delay all the way down and I'm going to blend it in to see how much we need. That'll do for now. We'll come back and tweak that shortly. So now what I'm going to do is add the reverb onto this reverb channel. And we'll try, I'm just going to use this lustrous plates that I've got. It's on the Slate Digital bundle. It is a really nice reverb. I'm just going to go for a piano. Let's try the grand. So I'm going to solo this channel, this chain. Okay, so we're already on full wet. You can tell the EQ needs rolling off. Okay, and again, we're going to take the volume all the way down and mix that in. I'm just going to switch the delay off for now. Mix that in with the dry signal. Right, okay, I'm going to go again with some more EQ on that. Get a bit more precise with it. So tell you what we're going to do actually. I'm going to change it to mid-side mode. I'm going to take the low out of the sides. And I'm just giving it a little bit of stereo width by pushing the side, changing the EQ on the sides. So we don't really want any of the mud in the reverb. Maybe bringing that side down a little bit more. Okay. Right, I'm happy with that for now. So let's move on to the multiband compression. So for this, I'm going to use the Vengeance multiband compressor. You can get a similar effect with OTT, which is a free download. I use the Vengeance multiband compressor just because it is. I feel like there's a lot more you can do with it. Although I usually do just go for the standard Dance Master 2 or Dance Master 3 preset, but it's just a really good starting point. So I'm going to go for Dance Master 2. I'll turn it down because it will be really loud. And I'm going to bring the mix back a little bit, maybe to about 75%. And I'm just going to start tweaking these bands. So I don't want them highs to be too harsh, but I do want it compressing a little bit. You can see it just brings everything out, crisps it all up really nicely. I forgot to switch that delay back on actually, I'll switch that back on now. Okay, that's sounding nicer. So next up, I'm going to go for a Q2. And I'm just going to notch out any problem frequencies. I don't know if you can hear, but there's kind of like a there's a frequency that I can hear somewhere, which I'm going to try and knock out now. There we go. Okay, can't really hear anything else wrong with that for now. So I'm going to roll the low off. Okay, so next up I'm going to go for something that I love to stick on my pianos and anything that I can really. It's the emulation of the Pultec, which I'd love a hardware version of, but I can't afford one of them right now. So I'm just going to go for the high frequency and put it on 10k, and then I'm just going to bring the boost up. Just roll it back a little bit, it sounds so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go for another Q2, just to tidy that up a little bit more. Okay, that is sounding lovely. What I'm going to do now is just a little bit more tidying up with the stereo width. So I want to take a lot of this delay and reverb out of the mid. I want this piano to be mainly filling the mid. So on this H delay, I'm going to EQ it. Okay, and then I'm going to use some stereo tools. I usually use the Synalxis stereo tools. There is a few out there that are free. I think Stereo Tool V3 is free. It is a nice little tool, but I don't like using it. It's not as good as something like the Synalxis. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to just try and push the delay out a little bit more. So it is really, it's pretty much full left to right delay anyway. I'm just giving it a little extra push on the width. I'm going to do the same on the reverb. So reverb and the stereo tools. Just a little push, tweak that EQ a little bit. I'm going to add a second EQ on after the, sorry, just before the stereo tools. Just to calm those highs a little bit. Okay, so that is pretty much what I do with my pianos. Just to give you an example, I've got a little beat here. Let's stick a bass on. I'm just going to use the piano MIDI and that is really low. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. Drop us a like and a comment, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.